You could see the difference that our programs were making. Kids were succeeding. It's not that difficult to figure out what to do. What's difficult is to get the political will and the funding to follow. I'm Katie McGovern, and my official title is Corresponding and Recording Secretary. But what that means in real life is that I'm responsible for organizing meetings of our executive and the general membership. I also am responsible for getting the table officers together once a week and keep track of where we are in terms of duties and responsibilities and projects that are ongoing. In addition to that, I also do some political work. I work with an organization called Campaign for Public Education, and that's the group that says give students what they need to succeed. And I was one of the founding members, and I've been working with them ever since, so that's been a pretty long-term commitment. There were two things actually that I remember being really key to what I was doing, and one of them was the death of Martin Luther King in Wisconsin at that time, going to a small Catholic college. And when he died, it was so upsetting, and a number of us went to Milwaukee for a march. And I remember being involved in the march, and I learned a lot of the songs that I didn't know before, like Ain't Nobody Gonna Turn Me Around and all the old classics. But then when I came home and saw the way it was reported on the TV and in the newspapers, it was significantly different than what I experienced. And it was similar in a way to how I found out about what was going on in the Vietnam War. I was reading about it in the Chicago Tribune, which is a very right-wing newspaper, and seeing it on television, and I couldn't make heads or tails. It just made no sense to me. And asked the teacher about it, and he said, write a paper about it. I thought he was so I did, and I realized, and I was shocked. It's amazing how things interrelate, one thing lead to another. It's like learning to do various skills where things that you learn in one area carry through to another area, but also when you're learning about what's going on in the world. When you get your feet wet and you start to say, wait a minute, there's two whole different sets of what's going on here, what's really going on, and how do you know who to believe, and how do you figure out what's really going on? Those were the things that really, I think, got me with my eyes wide open. Good Lord, there's so much that can be done. I mean, I think that the easiest thing to do is figure out what's bothering you the most and then try to figure out how to change it. You can do it as somebody who has to start from scratch and develop a small group of people who may expand and struggle, or you figure out what's going on and what organizations are involved and what speaks to you. But I think that we all have to take responsibility for what's going on in the world and do our best to try to change it.